Sets वाला example मैंने दिया ना, sets which are not elements of themselves. It's the same thing. Those who don't shave themselves. तो ये जो x है यहाँ बड़ा वाला, this x here, that's the barber. अब ये बेचारा शेव करेगा तो उसका मेंबर बन गया, इसका मतलब शेव नहीं करेगा खुद, और शेव नहीं करेगा तो इसका मेंबर बन गया, यानी अपना मेंबर नहीं है, यानी खुद नहीं शेव कर रहा, दोनों तरफ से फंस गया। ये समझ में आया? ओके, सो दैट्स सेट थियरी. You have to be very careful with set theory. So you were talking about sets. Sets क्यों आए हमारे डिस्कशन में? Because we were talking about functions. Functions क्यों आए? Trigonometry. Trigonometry क्यों आया? Ramanujan की वजह. So I have to retrace my steps now, but gently. So don't worry. Let's see. I'd like you to get. So you've got some idea of what are sets, correct? Some idea. I'm not saying you know everything, but if it makes you happy, I also don't know everything about sets. Forget about the world, that I don't know at all, but I don't know everything about sets either. Good. Now look, you know, I don't know if you can see, but I am sweating a little bit. See that? There's a little bit of sweat on my forehead. Let me wipe that. And I'm sweating because the temperature here has risen a little since I came in. So when I sweat as a consequence of the temperature. When the temperature rises, I sweat. When it comes down, I don't sweat. Okay? So this business of sweating, perspiring, is a function of the temperature. As the temperature changes, your perspiration may increase or decrease, depending on whether it goes up or down. You see that? It's a function of the temperature. Yeah? You see the relationship? Here is a variable, the temperature. It varies, so it's a variable. Here is this function. It varies according to the other variable. Right? So what I really have are two objects. एक सेट है यहाँ जहाँ टेम्परेचर्स हैं, अलग अलग टेम्परेचर्स हैं, 10 डिग्री सेल्सियस, 20 डिग्री, 25 डिग्री वगैरह वगैरह, राइट? और एक ये है some method of measuring sweat or perspiration. Doesn't sound very appetizing or healthy, but some measure of noting that there is sweat. Okay, so let's call this S and let's call this. At temperature T1, there is so much amount of sweat, A1. Oops, something has gone wrong. I keep pressing something all the time. Okay, so let's say A1. At temperature T1, there is that much amount of perspiration. At temperature T2, there is so much amount of perspiration. Do you see that?
Yes.
At T3, there is so much amount of perspiration. Okay? So what have I done? I have created a relationship between two sets. Measurements of sweat and measurements of temperature in this room. Okay? For each temperature value, I find a measurement for set, a noting, something like that, relationship. So temperature T1 gives me A1. It's a relationship between the capital T, uppercase T and uppercase S. T1 relates to A1, T2 relates to A2, T3 relates to A3. Let's look at another way of relating things. So I could collect all students in this room, okay? I collect all students in this room and let's give them the designation this. This is the set of all students. Sometimes you denote sets by these diagrams. They're called Venn diagrams, but it's not exactly a Venn diagram. And here I look at their names. So there's name S1, there's name S2, there's name S3, there's name S4 and so on. I think there are 30 or so students in this room, so there will be S30 तक जाएंगे, ठीक है? और यहाँ I put down the names of their fathers. Okay? This is the names of their fathers. So, Ashish's father will have some name. Let's call it F1. And KK's father will have a name. Let's call it F2 and so on. F3, F4. There will be 30 names, right? Now, I can create a simple relationship between these two sets. For every student, I connect that student to his or her father. See that? I connect S2, maybe S2's father's name is F4, so I connect S2 to F4. S4's father's name is F2, so I connect S2 to F2. Now, every member of S, that means every student, is connected with exactly one member of F. Is that right? I have created a relationship. I pick anything in S. Anything in S, I connect to exactly one thing in F. Each of these names in S cannot go to two elements of F, can it? Can't have two fathers, right? Have to have one father. So, it goes to exactly one thing. But suppose there were siblings here. Suppose Ashish had a brother also in this room, maybe S5, S6, okay? Then S6 would also go to the same name. So, two elements of this set can go to 1, but 1 from here can't go to 2. Is that clear? So, if I take two sets, any two sets, one on the left and one on the right, and I create a relationship between members. How? That every element of the set on the left is taken to one and only one member. But maybe 2 or 3 or 4 could go to 1 on the right. If I do this for all members of the set on the left, then this is called a function. It's called a function. This is a function. There is no other definition of a function. So, what is a function? It is a rule that relates elements of two sets. The domain set, that is the set on the left, with elements of the range set or the codomain set. Okay? So, it takes elements of the domain set into exactly one element in the codomain set. More than one element of the domain can go to one unique in the codomain, but one in the domain cannot go to 2. Clear? That is a function. Now, it is easy. There is no maths involved here, but let us look at some mathematical examples and it will make better sense for you. So, here is an example. You know the set of counting numbers? Let us look at that. Here is the other set of counting numbers. You see that? Set of counting numbers. I will now define a function between counting numbers and counting numbers. How? So, here is how I do it. Every counting number is taken to its double. So, let us look at 1. Under this rule, where will 1 go? To 2. Where will 2 go? 4. Where will 3 go? 6. So, what is the general rule? Small or lowercase n goes to 2n. Got it? Lowercase n goes to 2 times n. Now, is this a function? Think carefully. What was a function? It was a rule that associates with every element of the domain set, that is on the left, one and only one element of the codomain set. So, every time I pick a natural number, a counting number like 1 or 2 or 3, I take it to exactly one element. 1 goes to exactly 2 and nothing else. 2 goes to exactly 4 and nothing else. 3 goes to exactly 6 and nothing else. That is a function. You see that? Now, that is how functions occur. So, you have understood a little bit what a function is. I want each one of you to give me in the next 3 minutes an example of a function, each group. Think carefully. I've given you definition, I've given you examples. Now create something. You need a domain set, you need a codomain set. It could be cows, boys, numbers, anything. Each element of the domain set goes to exactly one element in the, you have to relate it by some rule, by some method. Okay? Let's see.
n equal to 0 से 0 1 2 3 4 5 मान लो तो ये तो जाएगा यहाँ पे और मच लेना 1 2 3 4 5 6 0 प्लस 2 तो 2 होंगे 1 प्लस 2 3 2 प्लस 3
नेचुरल नंबर यहाँ पे डिफाइन करते हैं।
आज छोड़ लो कुछ भी
इंटीजर डालेगा तो फिर एक में तो हो जाएगा।
एन यहाँ पे नेचुरल नंबर नहीं होगा होल नंबर
ये यहाँ से
0 से काटना है ना
ठीक है।
अगर रेड आ रहा है तो वो ब्लू को रिस्पॉन्ड करेगा, ब्लू रेड आ रहा है तो ब्लू को रिस्पॉन्ड करेगा। इसको चेंज कर दो फिर वाले को, इसी तरह से
फंक्शन क्या देंगे? फंक्शन देंगे क्रिएटिंग टूल्स उसका टूल्स फंक्शन नहीं
तो अगर तू मेरा भाई तो मैं तेरी बहन हूँ ना, लेकिन मेरा कोई और भाई भी हो सकता है और उसकी
वही तो
उसकी बहन तो मैं तो बहन होंगी।
हाँ
एक्सेप्ट नहीं के लिए ये वाला रिश्तेदार वाला ठीक है सर जो फादर को बोला मदर ला दे वहाँ पे
नहीं यार
मदर तो ऐसी होंगी
कॉपी नहीं करना।
हाँ वो
नहीं बच्चे तेरे सारे भाई बहन की मम्मी यही होती है ना तो
हाइट का कर सकते हैं, हाइट की जगह जाना
नहीं
है।
हम
थ्री का फोर
एक फंक्शन वो ठीक है
तो वन डालते हैं तो हमारा आएगा थ्री का फोर।
एक इक्वेशन बना दे तो चलेगा कि वो सब
मतलब ये सीधा जाएगा, ये सीधा जाएगा, या इसको छोड़ भी सकते हैं, इसको छोड़ भी सकते हैं क्योंकि इसका है नहीं कोई।
नहीं बट दे एवरी स्टूडेंट हैज जस्ट वन सेकंड हम लोग खुद लोग
हाँ चल ठीक है।
या फिर हम कर सकते हैं देयर एवरी स्टूडेंट हैव नॉट मोर देन वन स्टूडेंट तो मतलब ये
तो
ये छूटना नहीं चाहिए,
अच्छा
जीरो
तो
जाएगा।
फिर इसका एक ही वाला सिंबल होगा इसका ये वाला।
एग्जैक्टली वन
एग्जैक्टली नहीं, वन और मोर देन वन दो सकते हैं ना, दो जोड़ देंगे
हाँ
तो दो सिबलिंग हो
ये
गए।
बॉयज कर दो ये बॉयज कर दो ये बॉयज कर दो
ठीक,
ये भाई और ये
लेकिन
बहन
हम समझाएंगे वो वाला है क्योंकि
नहीं
वो
दोनों
ज़्यादा
समझाएंगे, दोनों
पहले एक ये वाला ये ज़्यादा अच्छा है।
दोनों समझाएंगे।
और इसमें हम बोलेंगे that n belongs to
Folks, you're getting close to your 3 minutes. Who's going to volunteer?
ये वाला
Okay, you come up to the board. Let everybody see your example of function.
The statement.
Please look at it critically, everybody. Come on.
we will consider as domain that is state of all states of India.
States of India.
All states. That S1, S2, S3.
How many states does India have?
Now
Nine.
20.
No, 28.
28 plus 29.
If you consider Delhi as already Delhi is not.
Okay, so we have to be careful what is meant by a state, and then you list all the states. Okay, fine. Then
Then it's capital.
capital. Okay.
C1, C2, C3, C4 up to C whatever it is.
Okay.
The S1 to C1, S2, C2. We will consider Haryana. Haryana capital is Chandigarh and Punjab capital is Chandigarh.
Okay.
In the same way.
Very good. Is that a function? Question is this. Instead of putting only list of capital names on the right, suppose I list some other cities also. Give me a city in India which is not a capital.
Ahmedabad.
Ahmedabad. Okay. Allahabad. Banaras.
Guwahati.
Guwahati. Guwahati is not a capital?
No.
You sure?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. So I could put more names here. Doesn't mean that every name on the right has to be receiving something from the left, right? It can be spare. Pada rahega wahan. You can do that, right? Okay, so that's a function. What about you folks? You have a function? बताओ आओ अच्छा पहले आप आओ come erase this please तो erase कर दो शाबाश okay come on take this pen
This is a set of the name of students of BTech Humanities classroom, and this is set of N1. And this is set of their blood groups.
okay how many blood groups do we have on earth human blood groups 8 what are they A
plus,
plus
A minus, B plus, B positive, B negative, O positive, O negative, and AB7.
7 blood groups okay yeah
तो N1 का एक ही हो सकता है, किसी एक ह्यूमन का एक ही ब्लड ग्रुप होता है पूरा, तो उसका एक हो जाएगा। हो सकता है N2 का भी B प्लस हो, N3 का भी B प्लस हो, और भी हो सकता है। तो ये फंक्शन है।
okay very good so you're getting an idea now
Yes, sir.
okay now I want someone to come and tell me how is sine theta a function and what is the domain and what is the range or codomain sine theta challenge question कोई कर सकता है करो how do you define it
Theta is your angle, and the sine. It is a function.
where is this x coming from
As theta,
ah,
function of sine theta.
right
इसमें theta and this is as theta. Range.
yeah
Theta varies from 0 degree to and range varies from -1 to
now what is the rule ये तो नाम है साइन इसका नाम मैं अल्फा लिख दूं कुछ लिख दूं रूल क्या है व्हाट इज द रूल मतलब कोई एंगल आप ले रहे हैं तो एंगल के साथ कौन सा नंबर जोड़ रहे हैं उस नंबर को हम भले साइन थीटा नाम दे दें मगर वो नंबर कहां से मिलता है कैसे मिलता है प्रक्रिया क्या है उसकी फॉर्मूला क्या है व्हाट इज द मेथड
sin theta का वैल्यू निकालें
कैसे निकालते हैं वैल्यू वही वैल्यू ही तो पूछ रहा हूं तो कुछ नहीं हुआ भाई
तो e by h करके
बस समझाओ ना हमें क्यों समझा रहे हो क्लास को समझाओ ये क्या चीज है पहले समझाओ
is a right angle triangle.
राइट एंगल ट्राइंगल
This angle is theta. So this is perpendicular side. This is hypotenuse and this is base.
हाँ
Sin theta is defined as the
Thoughts, but I
P by H
didn't want to
and
send it over.
perpendicular side by length of perpendicular side and by the hypotenuse length of hypotenuse. But theta is angle and P by H is
Okay,
the
folks.
sides.
I want you to let me know immediately whether is this the way sin theta is defined. Just check up on the web quickly. What is how do you define sin theta?
सर ऐसे नहीं हो सकता कोई प्रॉब्लम है
कैसे होता है?
एक तो पहली बात है यहाँ पे अगर इसने रेंज कोडोमेन लिया है वैसे तो कर सकते कोडोमेन इसने लिया है 0 to पाई वहाँ पर और रेंज लिया है वैसे
उसके पहले मैं वो देखना चाहता हूँ वो जो उन्होंने वहाँ डिफाइन किया है sin theta.
अपोजिट साइड थीटा का अपोजिट साइड बाय हाइपोटेन्यूज
वो परपेंडिकुलर और हाइपोटेन्यूज क्या है?
अपोजिट साइड बाय हाँ वो कर सकते लेकिन अदर के लिए भी डिफाइन करने की।
Is this making sense? चेक करो वेब में sin थीटा का क्या डेफिनेशन है।
हमें थोड़ा याद नहीं आता हमें करना
हम सारे 100 divided by
Is everybody convinced? What about you folks? KK, did you check? Is it what sin theta is? What is defined here? No? You don't understand anything? Please explain to KK. यहाँ थोड़ा बड़ा बनाओ.
Suppose a right angle triangle
ठीक है तो
ABC
Right angle कहाँ है पहले ये? Where is the right angle? So this is the right angle. Is that making sense? Okay.
let us take this angle as theta.
Okay.
Now we have to define sin theta. तो sin theta is defined theta के सामने का जो एंगल होता है उसको perpendicular
Angle नहीं, theta के सामने जो side है.
side ये hypotenuse
You know the perpendicular, okay? And that's called the base.
So sin theta is defined by the ratio of the length of the perpendicular side and the length of hypotenuse.
Is everyone clear?
Yes.
Okay, ये बताओ इन्होंने कहा sin theta की वैल्यू 1 से ज्यादा नहीं होती है. कहा ना इन्होंने? ये कैसे पता? How do you know sin theta is not greater than 1?
Perpendicular side cannot be greater than hypotenuse.
How do you know that? Why can the perpendicular not be greater than the hypotenuse?
तो वो जो हम लोग थ्योरम पढ़े थे p स्क्वायर इक्वल टू a स्क्वायर प्लस सॉरी h स्क्वायर इक्वल टू p स्क्वायर प्लस
Sorry?
कोई भी एंगल 0 से कम
एक मिनट, हाँ बोलो.
सर sin थीटा का आपने कोई भी एंगल 0 से कम कैसे हो सकता है?
तो मैंने कब कहा 0 से कम कहो? मैं पूछ रहा हूँ sin थीटा 1 से ज्यादा क्यों नहीं है? sin थीटा की वैल्यू 1 से अधिक क्यों नहीं? Why is it not greater than 1? Okay, let's see. You tell me. Why do you think sin theta cannot be greater than 1?
सर पाइथागोरस थ्योरम यूज करके हाइपोटेन्यूज सबसे बड़ा मतलब साइड होता है उससे परपेंडिकुलर छोटा हमेशा रहेगा.
Right. So come explain on the board. आप बैठ जाइए. Come. P upon H is sin theta. P upon H is less than or equal to 1. That's what we are trying to prove, right? That's the same as proving P is less than equal to H. Is that correct? Is that correct, KK? P upon H less than equal to 1. Let me see. So look, P upon H less than equal to 1 is the same as saying P is less than equal to H. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Why is that? Because I can multiply by H on both sides and the inequality will not change because H is a positive number. And so the inequality doesn't change, H and H cancel. P therefore is less than equal to H if and only if P upon H is less than equal to 1. That's what I'm trying to say. So how do you know P is less than equal to H? Go on, prove.
सपोज हम एक नंबर लेते हैं तो पाइथागोरस थ्योरम हमारा ये कहता है perpendicular square plus base square equals to hypotenuse.
Right.
So ये
Okay, you look at this carefully. So P square